wembya mundu bilele to wembya mundu bilele to wembya mundu bilele to wembya iwe yo tume chintofa o makebile to wembya iwe makebile to wembya muno iwe mundu bilele to wembya iwe makebile to wembya hey!
Kainde choka, choka, choka. Tivotele panyali ndipo pali makebi mwena lumango choka, choka, choka. Tivotele panyali ndipo pali viweme imwe visuzio choka, choka, choka. Tivotele panyali ndipo pali inkalo iweme panyali ndipo pali chimwemwe akainde choka hey! Tukumba nyari pampando hey! 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 Umoyo wa suzya visuzyo mumanyumba jala pamuzi tieni tibafunye baba akainda hambanga iwe choka 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 akainda fumabo sono tukumba nyari pampando tukumba nyari pampando Ba Zambia, ba youth, Mwema farmers Mwalubuka. Tubukishi miaka loads heading. Iliashili ya buino talifisama. Tulefwa intungulushi shamano. Mundo bile na makebi. Miaka ya kala kwa limisebo ama bridge, ma school na ma hospitals. Abantu bale mfwa bwinu impia shale sangwa mu matown na mu compound numba shisangwa fye muli bapompwe. Batile bakaleto buyantashi bakawa mya inchalo efyo batile nomba abantu bale lila kumitengo shafya kulya imitengo ya fuel. Ifwe tule fire ma solutions tefya kulumbanya fyepa pepa. Mundu bile na makebi ebo tule fire lesa tapela tambika fye na tutambikila intungulu shishamano abakwete vision ya chalo bakalubula bachelo tatule fire infinity tule fire ulubuto ni mundu bile fye na makebi ni mundu bile fye na makebi. Baletila, rule of law, number, bantu baletina nukulanda. Do you have a lawyer? Selective justice, momenso ya bantu. Ifunde lonse lifwilele abali ya muntu onse. Hapa number amachito kuingila na mashina. Number madata base bafwa ya chance no butungulu shibwa bwino. Manifesto yabo number yonse ni PF ngama solution malaide ya likwi kanchi ya maansasi ya likwisa. Abantu bale fwaya umutendene nsala ipwe. Ulubuto intungulu shamano twikatane nga Zambia. Mundu bile na makebi. Mundu bile na makebi ebo tule fwaya lesa tapela tambika fye na tutambikila intungulu shamano abakwete vision ya chalo babakalubula bachelo tatule fwaya infinity tule fwaya ulubuto Zambia yakwe twikatane mundu bile fye na makebi. By you mule fwaya nani ba taxi driver Mwema farmers bashimaini kuko pala uko mule fwaya banana bakasukulu Mwema zebige mule fwaya banani ulubuto intungulu shamano twikatane nga Zambia. Mundu bile na makebi. Mundu bile na makebi ebo tule fwaya lesa tapela tambika fye na tutambikile intungulu shamano abakwete vision ya chalo bakalubula bachelo tatule fwaya infinity tule fwaya ulubuto Zambia yakwe twikatane mundu bile fye na makebi. Mundu bile na makebi na makebi.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia has issued another statement that the ballot papers will not arrive tomorrow as announced. Remember, there have been various changes since they had that flag off and press conference on Friday. And the ballots should have been in the country on Sunday. They changed to Tuesday tomorrow. Now there's fresh communication from the Electoral Commission of Zambia that the ballots will arrive not later than Saturday. What is behind these changes? What is our antennas picking? And there's something that is happening that is of serious concern. These are not normal dispatch delays. Remember, there's been allegations that there were secret ballot papers that were being printed from Dar es Salaam and that were going to be merged with the ones that are being dispatched on a manifest from Dubai. And Now, these reports are being rendered credible because of the unexplained changes, the unjustified changes. They booked a plane well in advance, charter, 2 flights, and a flight that was going to take 6 dispatches. Yesterday, they suddenly changed that no, they had combined the tonnage into 1 flight. Now they are going to pick a plane from Turkey, and who is paying for the plane from Turkey? Why is the name First Quantum Mining begin to appear in all this process? This and other matters is what we are discussing today on EMV. The lie that was told by our dear sister Ambassador Ndioi yesterday has been blown. She was very confident yesterday. Look at this video.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia would like to reiterate that, as earlier advised, the first consignment of ballot papers should have arrived in Lusaka today, Sunday, 26th June 2026. However, there has been a revision to the charter flight schedule by the air operator. Therefore, the 2 consignments, which should have arrived on Sunday and Monday, will both be delivered on a single flight, capable of carrying 100 tons, as I had mentioned a little earlier. I would like to reiterate that originally the flights that should have carried the 2 consignments were capable of carrying 40 tons per flight. So the flight which was scheduled for Sunday and the flight scheduled for Monday will both be put on the same flight, and a portion of the 3rd flight will also be included on this single flight. This single flight, which is carrying 100 tons, will depart Dubai on Monday at 23 hours Dubai time, which is 21 hours Zambian time. It will arrive in Lusaka in the morning of Tuesday, 28th July at 05 hours Zambian time.
We are supposed to send the first delivery on Sunday, but due to some technical issue with the aircraft, now we have rescheduled the timing and we have communicated to the commissions. So now we have decided to send the bigger plane, which will carry the pallets of the first flight, second flight, and few pallets of the 3rd shipment. So that's what we have decided, and it will leave on Monday evening, and all the further details commission will agree. And what we will give you the packing list of all the pallets which will be loaded in the bigger plane, so that commission can, they can tell you.
let's delve into it. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has just issued another statement clarifying that the ballot papers that were due to come tomorrow are not coming tomorrow, and that the tentative program and schedule that was done will be communicated later, but they're assuring us that the ballot papers will be in the country on Friday. Now, what is of concern is not that these rapid changes are worrying all of us. No. What is of concern is there have been serious, credible reports in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks that there was a separate process taking place in Dar es Salaam by either a sister company or an associated company that was printing those ballots. I have been very careful in matters regarding elections. It's not everything that I say that we hear and say on this program, because we know a lot of people take what we say with a lot of credibility. And I'm reluctant to say things that are not confirmed. I'm extremely reluctant. And so when I heard about these ballots in Tanzania, I've never put it on my page or here, but the activities of the last few days are beginning to confirm that there's something. How can you book a plane, tentative, pay for it? And because the monitors, our observers that we have sent to Dubai, are demanding answer and clarity, and they want manifest, and they want the dispatch to occur as determined. And also Lusaka is saying, when the planes arrive, can we inspect both the Silver Rest premises where the ballots will go, and when they arrive at the airport, can we do a simple audit? We share the manifest that we'll have received from Dubai, from our monitors, and we compare what has arrived. That seems to have put everything in a bind. And now we are seeing these last minute changes, and last minute changes of planes. They got a 50-ton train, 50-ton plane, and now they say they have a 100-ton plane. They were supposed to transport these ballots on Emirates. Now they are changing. Come on, what is happening? This is it, Mwangala Zalomis and your team in Dubai. You are raising serious concerns. Your justifications are not making sense. Dubai is the hub of aviation in the world. Even those that are based in Switzerland, where the president regularly hires planes, you find that the planes are parked in Dubai. So why are you going to Turkey? And who's paying for the plane in Turkey? And I can put a challenge to it, is that why is First Quantum or associates of First Quantum attempting to get a cargo plane from Turkey? These are serious matters. We don't bring them here to alarm the nation. We bring them here to demand answers from the authorities. If there's something that they are doing wrong, we need to know. This has become a very sensitive period. We are on what is called the last mile. The last mile, anything can happen. And if you go to the statistics are showing very, very, very tight race. Forget what ZNBC and others are telling you. We have connections. I personally have connections to various international institutions, and they've been in our country the last 1 month. You have SADC, EISA, there are SADC Observer Mission team that is in Zambia, EISA, you have the African Union, you have the European Union, you have others for commercial purposes. The mines have been employing private people to do surveys and opinion polls, private surveys, because they know that if there is a change of government, it can change dramatically their fortunes, because it has implications that maybe the tax policy that they've been assured can change if government loses power. So they are a key stakeholder, even more than you as a voter, because they've sunk in billions of dollars in the mining sector. And they want to know what will happen in the elections. They are not fools. So what they've done is they have also invested in opinion polls. They've been doing various surveys. In fact, one of the surveys from the mining firm shows that the president, was ranging around 32% to 38%. And he has not gone beyond 38% in the last 1 year. So when we raise alarm, when we tell you that you have to protect the vote, we know what we are talking about. It's not everything that we can publish or that we can let you know. But what we can let you know is do your part, vote, and that vote should be protected. And President Hakainde Hichilema knows the statistics. He knows that he's not doing very well. That is why he's planning a second round to Eastern Province, to Mchinga, Northern, Luapula, Lusaka, and Copperbelt provinces. And he has disadvantaged his colleagues who can't fly, they've taken so many days, almost 40 days, and they've had 50 rallies, and they've only done 6 provinces. They are going to the 6th province tomorrow when they embark on Northwestern Province, and they'll go to Western Province. They'll end with Southern Province. President Hakainde Hichilema, with the infrastructure of the Zambia Air Force, he can do 5 rallies a day in every province, everywhere where he wants. He wants to use that to a great disadvantage of the opposition, and that's why he's calling them community engagement. You know why he's calling them community engagement? So that he justifies the millions that Cabinet Office is spending on his electoral campaign. He's just not being funded by the mining sector. He's just not being funded by other donors. Your purse, your money, that is why those are being called community engagement, is to justify the huge budget they're spending on this election. Literally, is the incumbency has tended for you, the taxpayer, to pay for his political campaign. So we should not underestimate, because he knows what is on the table. The president is not doing very well. The opposition that they said does not exist. There was disapproval. Zambians didn't know who they were going to vote for, but they knew who they were going to vote out. That is why the president was consistently, in opinion polls the last 1 year, around 32% to 38%. Now this is a threat the last 2 months, because a candidate emerged from nowhere. They thought they had burned and buried the Patriotic Front. They thought that by getting Miles Sampa and Mafinga MP, Robert Chavinga, they thought that the two will mobilize the best for the PF, and that the two will bring members of the Patriotic Front to President Hakainde Hichilema. You and I have seen, it's actually ridiculous to watch Miles Sampa on those campaign trails. Because who is Miles Sampa speaking to? He's speaking to Hichilema's choir. Miles Sampa's PF president is supposed to bring the multitudes of PF to President Hakainde Hichilema's rallies. But in fact, he's taking himself alone and Charity Katongo, and they are speaking to Hichilema's choir, who are UPND. Is of no value. Robert Chavinga is of no value. They brought nothing to the table. And the tables have been upset. He's not only lost likely the 2.8 million, but the 1.8 million that voted for the opposition have risen in unison. And the president is now standing at a perilous point. When you see his panic, hiring teddy bears, if you see his panic, using taxpayers' money and the entire infrastructure of the Zambia Air Force to attempt to turn, he's trying to turn the tide. The tide is against him. And what will benefit him is state infrastructure, like he's using the money from Cabinet Office, like he's using the millions, of money from ZAF and the ZAF infrastructure. He's going to rely on the police to attempt to disrupt the mood in the country that have all of a sudden congregated around Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. They've raised this negative campaign and propaganda against Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu, and it's not sticking. The rallies are becoming bigger. Look at the Chingola rally today. Remember, I was saying yesterday that the Mufulira rally was now probably the biggest rally after Kasama, Lundazi, and Lusaka was quite big, but not as big as these small areas. Chipata was big, Lundazi was big, Mpika was good, but Kasama was very big. Look at Mufulira yesterday. And again, now I'm forced to revise, because after seeing the pictures today of Chingola, you can see And Chingola has been a stronghold for the UPND. They won both seats, and they won, you know, they shared with the PF, but mostly they upset the tables. It's been an area that has now become more frustrated, like many places of the UPND. So we are on this, and we want answers from ECZ. We are now forced to watch that plane, that dispatch of planes from Dubai. And again, our questions to ECZ. Mwangala Zalomis, why is there sudden changes from Emirates, where the bookings were done? Why are manifests changing? What are you dispatching? Now, why do you want a cargo plane when you had already booked with Emirates? Why are you changing planes? And now why are you bringing a plane from Turkey? What is the role of First Quantum in all this? We will dissect all this and as we review the events.
We have been patient as Northwestern Province. We have been loyal. We have also been productive to this nation. We have come to the conclusion that our patience and our loyalty has not paid fruits. We are therefore at the moment very frustrated with what has been happening in the past 20 years. Our concern therefore is that we need to benefit from the investment that is currently in this province. As you are aware, we are hosting 3 big mines which are contributing immensely to the treasury of this country. But alas, there is very little to show, if any, in our province. We feel that the successful governments have not appreciated this province. I want to say that we haven't been very objective in the manner we have been voting. We haven't been voting based on deliverables. We have been voting based on relationships that do not benefit us, relationships that is stealing the future of our children. We wish to state that whilst the current government has implemented some mega projects in the other 9 provinces, our province has received nothing except recycled promises. Promises of a university teaching hospital where there was a groundbreaking, a promise on Mutanda, Kasempa, Kawoma, where there was a groundbreaking, a promise on Kipushi Road, Sorezi Kipushi Road, where there was groundbreaking. Over 5 years, there has been no implementation of these projects. We, the people of Northwestern Province, are desirous to see development in our province. And we have 6 key thematic areas of development that would want to engage anyone who has empathy and respects the people of Northwestern Province. And these key areas are, one, the roads. And on the roads, we have Munirunga Jimbe Road, which we have collectively, as a province, prioritized. Then we have the University Teaching Hospital, which we think is our second priority. People here are suffering. People are coming from Chavuma, from Wikelengi, going to Indola for medical services.
Welcome to the Anantara Tented Kafue camp. It gives me great pride after 3 years to see this hotel where it is today. And I thank every one of us and everyone for their continued support. And I think this is the start of a future and a relationship with African Parks, Minor Hotels, and our brand of luxury Anantara on the first safari tented camp.
It has been a dream to enter the ultra-luxury safari market. I don't want to say safari because I think this product is more than just a safari. I just want to say thank you to Sashi for making it a reality.
Because the brand has evolved. We've gone from being luxury resorts globally to doing planes, trains, boats, retreats, and this now represents our first venture into tented camp.
By choosing to invest here, you have created opportunities for economic growth, employment, skills development.
Family, in this period of elections, there'll be sensitive reports, there'll be several claims, and it will be our duty just to put credible information out there. Now, remember, I was privileged to have been permanent secretary in Western Province, and this project was only beginning that time in 2014, 2015, when they were doing surveys, and I think they began the constructions in 2016. So when I saw pictures and people claiming that this particular outfit belongs to Gilbert Liswaniso Awe, I know I've reported him to the Anti-Corruption Commission for his role in Kushi Mine, and the ACC acknowledged report of my complaint against Gilbert Liswaniso, and now those Chinese gave him shareholding. They've never investigated, they've never closed that case. I know he's a character that has come from the mosquito he was. Now he's looking like a hippo. He's even put on weight. He's clearly, but to allege that Anantara tented camp, Kafue River, belongs to Gilbert Liswaniso Awane, Anantara tented camp doesn't belong to, I can tell you that I know, because as an office we're involved when they were doing surveys, when they began, when even African Parks was coming. Remember, it took a long time. It had to take the prince from UK to come to Zambia for African Parks to get Kafue National Parks. Because remember, African Parks, the board member director from Zambia is an associate of the president, Valentine Chitalo. So there were those politics that clouded the decision for African Parks, because African Parks were already running, I think, Liua, and they wanted to expand to Kafue. Kafue is the largest African national park in its wilderness. It's one of the largest in the world, and in Africa it's the largest, especially with the big five. So government was very reluctant that a board member director, Valentine Chitalo, should be the one, then to be given. But President Edgar Lungu, like I always say, he never looked at partisan issues. He gave business to President Hakainde Hichilema. Hakainde Hichilema can't do what Edgar Lungu was doing. Africa Life Insurance had various businesses with various government entities. Can Hakainde allow the opposition to hold any business? He cannot. So African Parks was eventually, the visit by the prince from the United Kingdom was eventually given. And Anantara tented camp was already under construction. And I have been tracking it. So to allege that it belongs to Gilbert Liswaniso Awe, let us be on the narrow path of the truth. So sorry guys, that Anantara thing doesn't belong to Gilbert Liswaniso. Our role is just to tell the truth. I want to expose Gilbert Liswaniso and others that are engaged in corruption. But let's not allege things that are not there. Thank you very much. Here is the Anantara Wendwe recently opening.
Welcome to the Anantara Tented Kafue camp. It gives me great pride after 3 years to see this hotel where it is today. And I thank every one of us and everyone for their continued support. And I think this is the start of a future and a relationship with African Parks, Minor Hotels, and our brand of luxury Anantara on the first safari tented camp.
It has been a dream to enter the ultra-luxury safari market. I don't want to say safari because I think this product is more than just a safari. I just want to say thank you to Sashi for making it a reality.
Because the brand has evolved, we've gone from being luxury resorts globally to doing planes, trains, boats, retreats, and this now represents our first venture into tented camp.
By choosing to invest here, you have created opportunities for economic growth, employment, skills development.
Family, ZNBC reporter, sub-editor, continues to be in detention. It's now 10 days. He was arrested on 18th July and has been in police custody for the last 10 days. Yesterday, Tabo Kawana alleged that Macpherson is in prison, is in detention in police cells because he failed to raise sureties. That is the allegation by Tabo Kawana, who's Permanent Secretary, Information and Media. But that's not true. And I want to get on the phone. I hope I can get Simon, the lawyer. But this is what Tabo Kawana said. Oh, looks like there's no volume on that video. Let me look for the video that has volume. But however, the detention of our dear brother Macpherson is totally unjustified. Let's go through the issues. Let us imagine for once that Macpherson attended that meeting and recorded it and published it on a pseudo page. Who committed the bigger crime? They are calling it private conversation. I have played on my page, and maybe we should actually play it. 31 minutes. You have a group of civil servants identified with their names. They held a meeting under Microsoft meetings. You know, there's Zoom, but they held it under Microsoft. And because of our unique perspective with the public service, someone gave me that link, and I attended that link. And for
Papa, there's breaking news. Breaking news. Check your Facebook page. Check your WhatsApp.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. I'm live. Are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching, but there's breaking news. Check.
Okay, thank you. You know, that's the goodness of being live. Someone says there's breaking news, so let me look at what breaking news is. But as I was saying, imagine that meeting. It was on meetings and it was recorded. What did Macpherson do? You have a group of civil servants plotting and planning how to destroy. Yeah, let me just check for how to destroy the electoral process and how to just a minute, sorry, I just want to understand what this breaking news is, our dear brother. Okay. Let me just see. Oh, he's telling me about what I've already played. Come on. David, David is telling me about the statement by Samakai, which I've just played on this press conference, and he thinks I'm not aware. Thank you, David. David from Mongo, and thank you. I've already played that video that you are talking about. It's about our dear brother Samakai and the team that will receive Brian Mundubile. This is the breaking news he's telling me, but you already know I have it and I've been playing it.
I'll be very brief because the topic at hand here is very specific, and I wouldn't want to repeat what my colleagues have already said. But I want to start with the Bemba proverb. It says, Ua kalema takaleka. And the leopard does not change its spots. If there was any time when Hakainde Hichilema would have been scared of losing popularity here, it is the past 5 years where we are coming from. He knew that this province is actually the breadbasket of the nation. This province contributes 40% to the fiscus. 40% of the budget is funded from Kalumbila and the Solwezi. And yet, Northwestern Province has received nothing, not even 1% of the 40% that it gives out to the nation. And the president of Botswana just recently said, a president who has been in power and is seeking re-election must never go around campaigning, because his works should speak for himself.
Now, we have been patient as Northwestern Province. We have been loyal. We have also been productive to this nation. We have come to the conclusion that our patience and our loyalty has not paid fruits. We are therefore at the moment very frustrated with what has been happening in the past 20 years. Our concern, therefore, is that we need to benefit from the investment that is currently in this province. As you are aware, we are hosting 3 big mines which are contributing immensely to the treasury of this country. But alas, there is very little to show, if any, in our province. We feel that the successful governments have not appreciated this province. I want to say that we haven't been very objective in the manner we have been voting. We haven't been voting based on deliverables. We have been voting based on relationships that do not benefit us, relationships that is stealing the future of our children. We wish to state that whilst the current government has implemented some mega projects in the other 9 provinces, our province has received nothing except recycled promises. Promises of a university teaching hospital where there was a groundbreaking, a promise on Mutanda, Kasempa, Kawoma, where there was a groundbreaking, a promise on Kipushi Road, Sorezi Kipushi Road, where there was groundbreaking. Over 5 years, there has been no implementation of these projects. We, the people of Northwestern Province, are desirous to see development in our province. And we have 6 key thematic areas of development that would want to engage anyone who has empathy and respects the people of Northwestern Province. And these key areas are: 1, the roads. And on the roads, we have Munirunga Jimbe Road, which we have collectively, as a province.
Even I've put you on speakerphone, and Mr. Andrew has a question or two for you. Just hold on.
All right, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chilabi.
Andrew, good evening. Thank you.
You're live on Costa's cross-examination. The nation would like to find out, there are concerns that have been raised by Amnesty International and other human rights defenders on why the police in Zambia have detained Macpherson Mukuka for a period longer than expected. What is happening, Mr. Chilabi?
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Yes, I think I'll take you back to the statement that we issued on the 18th, that we formally charged and arrested Macpherson Mukuka for the offense of prohibition of recording a private conversation without prior notice, contrary to Section 10 of the Cybercrimes Act number 4 of 2025. Now, remember, there is a procedure that is followed. You have a suspect, warn and caution the suspect, and then have the suspect formally charged and arrested. So upon finishing that process, it depends whether to go to court, or if the offense is bondable, we give a bond to the suspect. Now, in this case, after finishing all the formalities, we did all our digital forensic evidence, compiled whatever ingredients are needed in this offense. We requested or informed them to hear that we are free as police to have a surety, so that he can be released on police bond. And you know, sureties, releasing someone on police bond, we call it is an undertaking. There are conditions attached. It's either we release someone on their own recognizance, meaning without sureties, or with sureties. So our dealing officers, as Zambia Police Service, what we came up was that we need sureties in this case. But unfortunately, you know, we did not have sureties turning up. And as I'm speaking, this matter is before the National Prosecutions Authority you know, it's a criminal justice process in this case. From police it goes to NPA, and then NPA eventually someone appears in court. So that's where we are at now. Otherwise, as officers on the ground assessing the matter, an offer was given so that, you know, he can be released on police bond. But unfortunately, you know, no one could turn up for police bond. And what is it that we could have done? No surety. And yet the conditions, what perceived on the ground was that let this person be given police bond. But unfortunately, no one, you know, turned up. And that's what transpired. That's where we are at now.
Is that the only reason, Mr. Chilabi?
That's the status of the matter, Andrew.
All right, thank you so much for giving clarity to this matter, Mr. Chilabi.
Before, I know it's something that may be discussed. As police, for us to arrive at this offense, we had our own reasons, you know, for us to arrive at this offense, for us to arrive at this charge. We had to look at constitutive elements to this offense and let him be treated. We are treating him as a suspect. He's not someone who's guilty. We had reasonable suspicions as police. And then after decided to arrest and charge him for this offense. He's still a suspect. He's still enjoying those rights that a suspect should have. He's not guilty. And we subject this matter before the courts. So the courts will decide whether the police were wrong or the other way around. So we just call for that patience. Let the court decide over.
Family Simon Mulenga Mwila, who's a lawyer for Macpherson from ZNBC, has made it very clear from Macpherson Mukuka that he presented sureties. Remember, he was arrested over the weekend, and by Monday, when they were done, he presented sureties, 2 working sureties. So the lies by Tabo Kawana and the lies by the police spokesperson is totally inexcusable. In other countries, you resign when you are caught lying like this. And someone said, but why don't you answer PS Kawana? Now, let's look at it. I was permanent secretary 12 years ago. That's how junior Kawana is. He's occupying the office I occupied 12 years ago. I was permanent secretary there in 2013. And here are some things I did. When I was challenging him to, you know, when they allege that Emmanuel Mwamba is running this page or Emmanuel Mwamba is running that page, we had that difficulty. And I was privileged that I was Zambia's High Commissioner to South Africa. And here is what I did. Remember, there were 2 major projects I was pursuing. One was open and one was a bit private. We never really announced it. Other than the major programs we're running, we're pushing farmers, we're pushing miners, energy sector, we're pushing a lot of projects. And, you know, if there was any ambassador who brought a number of trade delegation to our country, I think I was among the highest, because there was a huge delegation, at least once a month. 38 biggest commercial farmers in South Africa, the biggest corporate entities in South Africa, the biggest, whatever it was, I would bring them to Zambia. But there's something we did regarding social media. First, I wanted free Wi-Fi in Lusaka, a project that was later adopted by Mal Sampa, but I'd started it. Because I was very fascinated that there was free Wi-Fi in Pretoria, in places in Johannesburg, and in selected towns, you know, like East London and Durban. Free Wi-Fi. I said, how does this run? How can you offer free Wi-Fi in hospitals, in clinics, at schools, libraries, and in all public spaces, like bus stations? Because you could be stranded, you have no talk time, and it's in the night. But there was free Wi-Fi at a bus station. There was free Wi-Fi at a train station. So I took visits to Swane, the municipality, and they showed me the model. They had partnered with the private sector. Now the money was made. And I brought that delegation, the pioneer of free Wi-Fi, in major cities in South Africa, that it should be replicated in Zambia with no cost to the council. It just needed a partnership with one of the major telecoms, whether it was MTN, Zamtel. We had chosen Zamtel, and we held various meetings with Dr. Mpanga Monakatwe, who was CEO, and our colleagues at the council, including the late mayor before Mal Sampa came in. We made progress. But there's another project in relation to what Thabo Kawana is doing. I said, why don't you partner in Africa, in Southern Africa? Facebook offices are only in South Africa and Kenya. And I was privileged to be Zambia's High Commissioner in South Africa. So with one of our partners who were trying to roll out the free Wi-Fi, who had serious, because they were a telecom private company, who had these connections with Twitter and Facebook, who had offices in South Africa. They opened the doors for me, and I saw Facebook, and I said, there are two things we need to do. I want you to go into an MOU with Zicta. They struggle. They arrest wrong people of alleging that people are running these fake accounts. You, from the back end, you know who runs which account. So, when I say, for example, that I know who the administrators of Koswe is, I don't speak from without. When I finger that Brian Mwinga, the photographer, chief analyst at State House, and Frederick Msebezi are the administrators of Facebook. They can have pseudonyms, they can use a US number, but when you are dealing with Facebook, it is easier to know who they are. And lo and behold, Facebook came. If you see the first MOU that was signed in 2017-2018, it culminated with Zicta. And it also culminated with the confirmation of President Lungu's page. It's now at the blue tick. That time it was rare to have a confirmed page, but President Edgar Lungu's page was confirmed during that period, and I think pages like Mwebantu also confirmed during that period. It's not like now where it is possible for everyone to, you pay, you show your ID. It was a bit difficult at the time. So, if Kawana wants to allege anything, he shouldn't open his mouth. He should go to Zicta and Smart Center. And if the programs with Facebook have expired, the MOU that were signed by the previous Zicta management have expired, renew them. That way, you will not arrest McPherson for nothing, based on jealousy, on rumors, and on his tribe. You will not arrest and allege and lock him up when you know it's not true. You will have verifiable information from Zicta. You will have irrefutable links from Zicta. Your cyber unit at service headquarters. If you bring in Facebook as your MOU partner and you demonstrate that a crime has been committed, they can help you. Not this phishing where you are arresting wrong people, you are alleging wrong things. You need to allege. When you allege, you are standing on firm ground. They alleged that I was running a page called Mnyaule. They picked me up, beat me up. Up to now, I have not replaced my tooth. It remains a souvenir. Maybe Waka Indengabaya, Elon Kashta replaced this tooth. I was beaten, locked up, and my family was looking for me. I was incognito for 24 hours. A page I was not running. A page I was not associated with. And when they did their audit, they found that I was not the one. They had already beaten me. They had already knocked out my tooth, and they had already embarrassed me before the nation. And they've never apologized for that. And the charges they wanted to bring on charges on Mnyaule, they've never brought them to court. Instead, they manufactured the lie that when they were beating me up, I beat a police officer. There were 12 of them, 12, and there were various witnesses. That matter still, our God says we forgive every night, but that matter just can't go away. I couldn't believe that I was subjected to torture and beatings over something I didn't do. Maybe if I did something, then you can be a bit guilty that I've gone through this humiliation because I did something, but I didn't. And this is what Thabo and his teams are doing. Because he's a PS, he's abusing his office, calling the police, having people arrested, alleging that Emmanuel Mwamba runs that page without evidence. Just go to Zicta. If Zicta doesn't have an MOU with Facebook, call them. That's what we did. We used diplomacy very well. You have an ambassador here in the United States. You have an ambassador in Kenya. You have an ambassador in South Africa. Use the embassies properly so that when government alleges, because there are many times when President Hakainde Hichilema says something totally untrue and he's speaking, you know, with credibility, with his deep voice, as if he's telling the truth when he's not. And it's embarrassing to mislead a head of state like that. The boys will be in Northwestern Province. Someone has already written to me. He says, well, Ambassador, that is a good crop of senior Northwesterners. You know, if you saw on the press conference, there is Nathan Mulenga, there is Honorable Lucky Mulusa, there was Honorable Henry Kasonso, there's Honorable Richard Kapita, former Vice President in UPND, there's Honorable Newton Samakai, the one that has just resigned from the UPND, then Henry Kabinga, who I was supposed to host yesterday. And someone says, you have a crop of very senior leaders in Northwestern Province. Can you ensure that Brian Munduwile and Makebi Zulu give these sons of Northwestern Province a lot of space? We know there are a lot of people on his delegation, but give them space. Let them speak to their people. And I agree. You know, we should be like Basata. For all of you, all of us, including President Hakainde Hichilema, everyone admires the politics of Mr. Sata. When Mr. Sata came to an area, he was a master of ceremony himself. If you had attended any of the rallies by Mr. Sata, he would take to the podium, national anthem, prayer, chairman of this area, ward chairman, constituency, district, Iseneapa, province. Then you take one of the seniors in that area. He could be a former minister, he could be a current minister, whoever is prominent in that area, he gives them space. Then, of course, he will introduce his entourage. But if you saw Mr. Sata conducted, we all can be Mr. Sata, but he conducted the rallies himself. And he gave prominence to the local people where he went. So, family, these are some of the lessons we can learn. And I agree with you, my dear brother. David is very passionate and excited that the team led by Samakai and Nathan Mulonga and our dear brother Lucky Mulusa held this press conference. And he had to disrupt my program. He's a senior man in Western Province, and he says, look at that breaking news. But I break news. I'd broken that news earlier in the day, and it's one of the videos I'd played already. So David, Awe, Mwachelo, Makonya, and Mwachelo, we had done it already. But we expect the people of Northwestern Province to support the changes. As the lines open, maybe we should open the lines, because I can see a lot of people are calling. Maybe they are thirsting to speak. This is your program. Let's open the phone lines. I think I'm worried about ECZ, and that's a major thing we are discussing today. I'll take your phone lines. I can see. Come on. Thank you. Okay, so the phone lines are open. Let me hear from you. I can see people are calling. Let's begin the program. We have our first caller. Caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Thank you so much, Honorable Emmanuel Mwamba. This is John Oscar. I'm calling from Rome.
Thank you, dear brother.
Good evening, and I salute all the viewers. The first thing I would like to acknowledge by Emmanuel Mwamba is what the signals come from the Copper Belt today from Chingola and then Chililawombwe but also the other day from Chamboli and other places. You see, the wise people, even the Romans themselves, they used to say, vox populi, vox Dei. I repeat, vox populi, vox Dei. So the voice, the word of the people is also the word of God. We are all Zambians. We are all Zambians. And the enthusiasm from all these people who have been there in Chingola, the enthusiasm from Chililagombwe, from Chamboli, from many places where the two boys, the young boys, as President Hakainde Hichilema calls them, there has been this what we call spontaneous response, spontaneous immediate response, which a leader is supposed to consider. So Chingola has confirmed they did what they were ordered to do, but the people have won. The people win all the time. Vamwambai appreciates you most of the times because you have an experience in it, and you don't make these cheap mistakes where you ignore the people's desire and the people's request. So the people in Chingola spoke loudly. Then that said, I want to go to the question of the ballot boxes and the change of the arrival of the ballot boxes. Vamwamba, okay, tulibera Zambia, echinanda kuna mchibemba. Ifo tulibera Zambia chachine. But we thought we are third world countries, nangu, developing countries. Okay, I don't like it as third world country. I don't like it developing. I don't like it either. But now, when you have a press conference of officials stating that we have postponed the arrival of the ballot papers in the country because of the technical faults, and we have chosen now a different aircraft which has a huge capacity, and we are going to carry all the load at once. And the gentleman, there was not only our Zambian counterpart from ECZ, I think there was that gentleman also confirmed, who confirmed that, okay, our aircraft, everyone will listen to that statement. Now to hear today that the papers are not starting off tonight because we were promised. Some of us, we are ready, we have our friends in Dubai. They were supposed to go to the airport to go and accompany the departure. Our friends in Dubai, they were supposed to go in Dubai to go and accompany the departure of those ballot boxes. Now, to be told that also that one has been postponed. Okay, now when you go over a third world country, okay, personally, this is wrong. This is wrong. Or Narata proposed, because sometimes we start to complain. We complain without giving a proposal. Narata proposed. This is wrong. We can't behave in this way. 62 years after independence, aircraft Dubai. If we are Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema was going to call the Zambian people, can you put the money together? We go to fly aircraft. Okay, to allow aircraft if we need. But my Zambia power is there. This is my proposal. But President Hakainde Hichilema, Zambia, they pay a little money. We don't know how much it costs. To allow Egypt Air, by Ethiopian Air, in the K. Yes, send them about boxes from Dubai, Yalete Zambia. If that is not going to happen, Nahalal are very worried. So proposal na pay line. How much it costs to Arari Pila? 20 euros to Arari Pila. Ime national pledge. Here number one national pledge 50 euros. National pledge 50 euros for that flight.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Father has graced us with the opening call. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Mamba Ambassador Nebo Mtale kuno wasakamana sana pale ya Sumachi Leta.
Mkwaiba Mtale.
To start with, I think I really appreciate all the works that you are doing, but I'm kindly asking politely and humbly that you should emphasize not any other topic, if it need be, that we should speak about this issue of transportation of ballot papers. Because to be honest, it's very worrying. It's very worrying because we are talking about if they're coming next week or maybe on Friday or whichever day, how many times, which time do they have for them to distribute them? They are beginning to distribute these things out of pressure or under panic. In my view or in my understanding, you cannot distribute all these things in all provinces with a humble time, because we are talking about people who are supposed to receive them. If they are taken to Copperbelt, they are supposed to be officials of each and every people or parties that are participating in this year's elections to receive them. So if they bring them a week before, they will be just taking them and people will be busy. So this is one way that they are trying to manipulate. Out of people running out of time, because they'll be coming to the Natichelo. So, and people say, okay, let them do the work. Because they have to cover Sangombo and the rest of the party, the rest of the party. So I am urging the party security and all well-meaning Zambian, just like my father said, we have to be vigilant. Remember in 2012, people were even chasing the lorry trucks, those trucks which takes the bread. As long as it was a containerized truck, people were chasing. And the chasing paid off. So this time around, it's that time that we need to be very vigilant. I don't know what the party is putting in place to make sure that when they receive them there at the airport, they should do a scrutiny and a proper scrutiny. And that's why I'm saying all this is time. They're trying to make sure that they try to play in Ingalato so that they can find a way to rig an election. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to sort out the other phone, the one that's blinking there, but it should be on now. Just a minute.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia would like to reiterate that, as earlier advised, the first consignment of ballot papers should have arrived in Lusaka today, Sunday, 26th June 2026. However, there has been a revision to the charter flight schedule by the air operator. Therefore, the two consignments, which should have arrived on Sunday and Monday, will both be delivered on a single flight, capable of carrying 100 tons, as I had mentioned a little earlier. I would like to reiterate that originally the flights that should have carried the two consignments were capable of carrying 40 tons per flight. So the flight which was scheduled for Sunday and the flight scheduled for Monday will both be put on the same flight, and a portion of the third flight will also be included on this single flight. This single flight, which is carrying 100 tons, will depart Dubai on Monday at 23 hours Dubai time, which is 21 hours Zambian time. It will arrive in Lusaka in the morning of Tuesday, 28th July at 05 hours Zambian time.
We are supposed to send the first delivery on Sunday, but due to some technical issue with the aircraft, now we have rescheduled the timing and we have communicated to the commissions. So now we have decided to send the bigger plane, which will carry the pallets of the first flight, second flight, and few pallets of the third shipment. So that's what we have decided, and it will leave on Monday evening, and all the further details Commission will agree. And what we will give you the packing list of all the pallets which will be loaded in the bigger plane, so that.
Imagine after that confident talk yesterday, imagine they've again rescheduled when the ballots are supposed to have arrived. In that press conference, ECZ and the owner of the printing company, look at the assurances they gave, even saying we've already done with the planes and the first 2 consignments will arrive on Tuesday, 28th July. And today we are being told that again it's been rescheduled and they're looking for other planes. What is happening? Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
My dear sister, good evening. Is that Tandis Ketis Ngoma?
Yes, this is Tandis Ketis Ngoma.
A long time, my dear sister. You don't want to participate in election matters. namuluva nkashiyandi namuluva ndiyande before after mwaseshe chira the whole year mwise mtalale last week sure.
Oh, that's impossible. We are still
make your contribution, my
around.
sister. Yeah.
Yes, Ambassador. I just want to make a contribution concerning the journalist Macpherson Mkuka.
Yes.
Yeah, my heart really bled when I watched the is it the police spokesperson?
Yes.
Telling a lie on Diamond TV. Why they decided to tell a lie, only God knows. But anyway, if Macpherson had the sureties available, as Kanso Mlenga explained, why are they holding him? Why have they decided to lie? And in a case that he recorded that conversation is in the public interest. Why have they decided to overlook that conversation and just target the journalist? That conversation, I think, has the interest of the public. They are talking about the elections. We are interested in that conversation. So why are they not handling both cases? The recording and the alleged person who recorded. Why have they decided to let go of those civil servants? Why have they done that? The last time I checked, a journalist should not be punished for carrying out his job. And why should they not give him the bail? They are in a habit of telling lies to justify their wrongs. He went as far as saying, no, these are two separate people. We are not targeting him as a journalist. We are targeting him as a suspect. You don't cease to be a journalist.
Is there a difference?
Yeah. There's no difference. You don't cease to be a journalist because now you've been put under. He's trying to justify that now the UPND government are targeting journalists. They want to play clean. But no. This just exposes them that there's no media freedom in Zambia. There's no media freedom in Zambia. They will always find a way to justify why they've done what they've done to a journalist. It started with Thomas Ziambo. They started with Thomas Ziambo. Thomas Ziambo was at some point abducted. He was put behind the jail for almost more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, almost a month. I think it was 26 days.
Yes, they did this. But they want to come and start telling us, no, Muntao Yava PF, Benzo Vala ma radio stations, us, we are not doing anything to the media. What is the difference with what they are doing now? Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm very much aware that the private media stations, they are being told what to run. If they invite a person who is very, very critical of the government, then that media station will never be given advice from the government. A lot of media stations are affected now. They have to run the narrative of the government. And I was so surprised that even Costa Mwansa couldn't even just took it like he was trying to carry out the narrative. Sorry, not Costa Mwansa. Andrew Mwansa. Or I'll just say the Diamond TV. They tried to carry out that narrative to suit Tabo Kawana. Tabo Kawana even had the audacity to call the police. No, explain why we've done this. When they know that they've done something wrong, they need to release Mukuka McPherson. They need to. They can't tell us now that he didn't have sureties. This story, we're not going to buy it. No. They need to release him. They want to do, Peter Mumbadi, no, my media houses were not closing, we're not doing this. There's media freedom in Zambia. Which media freedom in Zambia? When they're just running after journalists. If you have a story to tell, you cannot tell it because journalists are being censored. They decide, should I say this or I'll go in? If Tabo Kawana could have the audacity to separate a journalist and say, no, we are not following him because he's a journalist. We are doing this because he's a suspect. How dare he says that? He thinks Zambians are stupid. But Tabo Kawana, I think you're a civil servant, for God's sake, for crying out loud. You can do better. You can do better. We are not kids. McPherson needs justice. If you feel no, he didn't have sureties. When his lawyer has said they did everything possible to ensure that ama sureties basangwa, mama change story just to run your narrative. No. You can do better. Even the police themselves, when we as citizens say the police in Zambia are an extension of the UPND government, this is what we mean. This is what we mean. Look at the way they've been behaving, following the opposition, where they're supposed to have their own campaign. They are following them. Wherever Mundubile and Makevi goes, they are there. And they're just being embarrassed. Don't they know they are wrong? Until lives are lost, where they are needed the most, they are not there. They just go and just parade themselves like being used to attack opposition political members. For what? I mean, we can do better. Mam Samba, those police officers you are unleashing on the opposition, what is your agenda? What is your objective? Everybody knows that the opposition, the Mundubile and team are supposed to be in the copper belt. But why are you unleashing police officers on them? Why? Why? This is not the Zambia we want. Zambia is not a police state. This is not the Zambia we want. No, we can do better. Even issuing misleading statements. The entire police spokesperson, Ulebe Povufi, all in the name of trying to impress HH. And when we say you are an extension of the UPND government, you come for us because you don't want to be told the truth. No, we can do better. Can you get back to your profession? Do the right thing. Zambia deserves better. And justice for McPherson Mukuka. Mufumieni. Ikatena buwa civil servant. Aba kweta yama meeting. Aya kona ule fintu. Not McPherson. If he's a whistleblower, he needs to be protected. If he's a whistleblower, he needs to be protected. It's high time you started respecting journalists. Tabo Kawana, your ministry should start respecting journalists. Everywhere you go there with an agenda. Look, everywhere he goes, he doesn't speak the truth. He was there on Ken podcast. Look what came out of his mouth. He doesn't even believe like a civil servant. He doesn't even talk like a civil servant. He was even proud to say, that's your cup. When Mundubile comes in an event that Mundubile became president, what can happen? If you are working as a civil servant, if you're being professional, you can't even talk like that. This only exposes you. You can do better. Bakawana, you can do better. You are the same person. We heard you on that leaked audio asking JJ Banda when he was abducted there. You were busy saying no, just to say this. Then these alleged abductors will be exonerated. The same Kawana. And today, he wants to go on a TV station and start pointing fingers. No, it's Kalaluka Charles and Ambassador Mwamba who are running those pages. Tamwa Kwatanensoni, Koswe, Watchdog is being run by HH. You even have the audacity to come and talk about Ababambi. When you have rogue media pages that are there always insulting people. Your rogue media pages were even insulting the former head of state. And they still do that. Don't think Zambians are stupid. You cannot insult our intelligence. Maybe Tamwa is Shiva. We are very much aware of what the people who are behind those rogue media pages. At HH in chief admin for Koswe. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. We have callers waiting. Thank you, Tandiwe. Thank you. She hasn't called in a while. That's why I gave her a lot of time. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Thank you. Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. And I'm Pasha Bonse. Mabumbenba mwambenchito imle bomba. Ngata kwa ifimule chita. Ngatu hachita shani ututu nwabaisala kuno kuchalo kuzambia tisaibalo. Lesayali mitwala fyoko for a purpose.
Mbakaputa aba. Okay, Wakaputa, please make your contribution. I have another caller waiting, but please make your contribution.
Thank you very much. Mkwa. Nda nachafu kula ndifilangile ba father ba ku Italy bichantanshe nomba nabalanda kali sorry kwai wekala chalo kwa Kaputa kuno tulakafia kumwana kulumbula kwa kutilati ama ballot boxes imiletere yambo kuchinja ala mwe bantu mwe ibukisheni ba UPND batemo kuchinja ama goalposts vali ebelati ama bills yalya lubiro ya kita pass mu parliament just before the closure of parliament kuti nomba twalamba general elections 77 or so bachonga yapita chabasekesha then Constitution ya Zambia apo ECZ yabelako neshabala namona bachita declare campaign period 90 days which they are kwamba on the first of those 90 days first mukatishi kushayako shafumako tabalekita replaced baya ama campaigners ama candidates baya babwesha come back, there's a meeting. They were buying time ukuchefesha shita ya ama opposition knowing very well what opposition na wakati mpya balachita hayendeke shabo tababasumisha airspace so kusanga fe neshi kuna abapwisha elo babe batikabiye ni nomba bachita spend ukiano kubwela pamisebo tabaleya pamwela then kwisa na iloksta print if my ballots my excuses just habale pela nanguchibeshani nabakwatenka ama yabo imwe balifu kuchita nga yaisa afika mno mchalo kushaya for 2 weeks before ama general elections pakti bese bachita distribute balete kuno kwa Kaputa nemise weyesu ino nga pakti batwale konsekulya kuikeleng chile bashani kwasha ngombo konsekulya yose yi nibuka suba myalu ukuti bachinje fintu may God defend us mu bantu bakwalesa then going kuli ba umlando wakwa you reporter Macpherson bakawana mu bantu bakwalesa follow his trend of things bakawana bayiminine pa bedside yakwa TJ Banda palina bamayo basingya masebo another person nalimulabanga bali batatu bakawana ebakutempa JJ Banda ati asumi nefe milandu bantu bakeshi befya kumwafu bakawana taba bapune chinka nangu chimo bawombera fye abende bakawana taba balaba bapo mu political party ya ikalila kanwe ile chinja ile samkuwina tabachita endiwa na party kuti ba iluse elo baiko nayo balu bashale bashikisha so ilelo na Joseph Balera ndapali yo mlumendo Macpherson okufayo kumutsa separate from his career yo 3 suspect mwe bantu mwena ngini doctor ipeyo muntu pa death table tabachita separate doctor the surgeon mu operation room from how the accident happened to have that person die no ni doctor wine tachire handle into wino namba bena bakawana bali ichita exempt muri chati chirife bwino ikanga twati tubepushe ukulanda ati bakawana imichitere mulechita mulekanati bamundu birenga bawina busibo 70 mukaleka. Are you not justifying it that ni mwafu ba political cadre mwaba muri iyo enchita ya busibo 70? Temo basibo 70 chachine imwe temo basibo 70 ni mwe ba cadre mwaliomu nombedo mwimini ne chinshingwa cha kwa kawana, because you are looking for a suspect there, not McPherson the reporter. Tetu aikale fumwe na Zambia na twafirishe kuno kulomba felesa muma yanda Yesu ukuti kuvoto ukukapite bwino bantu uba kufisa ukuchinja fintu ababa i government procedure yakuchita printer ballots yali chita attract suspicion ni kulu, so tetukanye okutunganya nokutunganya kwinelesa tale turekeresha tunganya pechachi ne kulifu bale fo kuchita bakese mukubutausha look at if bale butausha bene opposition baya ku campaign uko mushita yabo baya baletera bakapokola, but you clear President Hakainde, if they mean to give security to bena munduvile na bambiko, why wouldn't they be sending over bakapokola kire ba Hakainde? Eno suspicion ya nkondo wului o umungulu o ichiflunganya tachiri kuma opposition gatherings, no chiri kuliba abo bene ba UPND bene balelwa or vice versa in between themselves na ba UPND na ba opposition pact bafo kuipusushako babekatira pamo baba saying that they are fighting. That's the more reason we want to bakwalisa to munga amesha kupepa Yesu tulombelesa twafirishe ukupenda kwa ifi fintu fika londoloke na mwe bale mfako bonsa bena Zambia kuti mwa yako mkulindilwa kupendoko elo konso kwinda bale amkuteka ifi fintu. You can even ask Pamwela abeshiba kwesiba mwabana mwishiba verify these things for us ngofi balela nda mwela fefine mpa social media kuno kuklanda ati kwani isa fimbi fya isa bali longa somewhere kulifa fimbi fya from Tanzania tafifikile ili ashibia afulisha around this voting in 2026. Let's carry ourselves in ways that history behind us shall be decent. In history pangika around by Hakainde, other politicians, don't subject yourself to such kind of operation. Good name is better than wealth. Hey.
Thank you, my dear sister from Kaputa. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make a contribution.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Sinyangwe Dani.
Yes.
Ambassador Mwamba, before the president was in power, he used to condemn PF, and I remember him saying, next elections, we're going to publish the ballot paper in Zambia. And for me, I feel sad. As a nation, even today, after so many years of independence, we have to give other countries to put the ballot papers for us, and what a shame. Then, in a business, Mwamba, if I come to you, we sign a contract, you are going to deliver these goods on this day. That contract should be fulfilled. So now, that person who was told to deliver the goods has failed. There's something fishy that is happening, but like other previous callers have said, Bamwambati and Tule Pepa, Lesanal Sulenshila, all is well, Bamwamba. The part of your chita, if you allow Funya, Ama Zambians, in a way that where we are going, Lesalina info. But if you know Lesalina info, Tien to Koso Pepa Lyonse. Second, Bamwamba, never compare yourself to a degraded person. You know, in products, there's A grade, B grade, C grade. Will you spokesperson or government ni degrade Bamwamba? Mwila isana compare. Bamwamba followed your work. Every time you were a permanent secretary, the works that you were doing it for the service of Zambians. You went to Northern Province, you were doing for the service of Zambians. You went to, as an ambassador in South Africa, everything that you did was a service for the Zambian. But to him, he's a cadre. And this is something that I'm praying about. Never should we allow cadres to be civil servants. Shame on that police officer. Mukuka is a suspect. Then why are you holding him for so long, Weban? You have even said it is a suspect. You can't detain a suspect for more than now 1 week, 2 weeks. Quite any coincidence by UPND. Can you have something also to what Zambians are going to remember for you for? But give chance that to play Kamuteshe Kofie. Namobe nama civil servants na bakapokola. Isule na menso. Don't blind yourself to be used by these people. Government come and go, but you still have a job and you still have a family to protect. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
My name is Mbanga. I'm calling you from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Mubanga, make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Indeed.
Okay, now my contribution therefore on the issue of protecting the vote. Because let's feel for our presidential candidate, our running mate. They haven't slept throughout the campaign period. So literally they've done their part. So now this is now our part. Now for to protect our votes so that everything that they are doing must go in vain. And then he's a civil servant, but he's preaching that civil servants must not be involved in politics. But what is he doing himself? That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and good questions. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador Mwamba, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Ambassador, me wants to take on the side of President Mundubile and the Vice President Makebi Zulu visiting, entering Northwestern. Now mulanda po ifintufumefikala ambasana. To reduce the make sure the delegates for the president when they are going to Northwestern. Each one for Kulandako, each province has got its dominant language. And each one de Lombako, abale unfa program wewe campaign team yes. When you are entering Northwestern, lekeni ave never Northwestern but taking over the program. Those people who addressed the place briefing, they were so very experienced people, and they are capable of helping President Brian Mundubile, Makebi Zulu and the team to run the program in the province. The issue of the Bemba dominance in each program, if issue in Kefiala to Afwa, the Bemba dominance should remain in the two successful, that is to Achikwata, Kuchidabombo na Kuchingola. Ilo tulea, ku Northwestern, we are entering the Solwezi. They are our brothers, Vakika Onde, the Lundazi, the Luvale, whatever the language are there. And when look about those people at Chikwata press briefings, all those people are there. So even the Master of Solomon, we need to allow the people from Northwestern to take their show. We want President Mundubile to speak in English. President Makebi should speak in English. That kwatabantu ndalondola mufitundu vyakulya. So kuti amaloko bakonfe muri chikaonde muri kikaonde.
My dear brother, did you know that Brad Mundubile can speak? I think Kaonde. He grew up in Northwestern Province. He came to Lusaka much later. You know, Dr. Kaunda was very skilled in making civil servants work in other provinces. Yeah, but your point is very, very clear. I think that's what the other callers. I will make a call somewhere, and I think we should implement that. It's very important that when we go to an area, we allow the local people there, speak to their people. I agree with you entirely.
Yeah, thank you, Ambassador, for bringing that. If our president can speak one of the language from that province, it will be even a plus. What we want the people to feel connected with the reader, which she Baba, in touch. That require the dominance. That Kwatama brothers, some of the people now President Naga in the Ichilema is facing the pressure. He's already put up a program to go again in 10 provinces, which is proposing to have each day 8 meetings in each province. So like Wachimba Kamwili and others, Kampiongo, we should spread ourselves. Others should go to Eastern Province, other to Mchinga, other to Northern Province, other to Luapula, other remaining in Lusaka Central Province, so that when you join the aspiring candidates, our MP, which are still having the schedule to have the meeting. So the president go to Northwestern. We have a technical team, which also I'm going to imply with the security should be very tight. Attack Pama Hotel Mwamba. Also, we need to check on our security. How does the people come and break your vehicles? Where are the security? Also, we need to invest in the security. They are going to Northwestern and Northwestern to Ilavo Kwebat. The day of election 2021, Jackson Kungo Alimipaya. So that to Ilava. So we need to put that in our mind, so the security should be tight. If it's to invest in vicious security to protect our leaders and everybody who are going to enter, the journalists and others in the Northwestern Province, it is very important. But what is critical, the people of Western Province are ready to receive our president and the vice president, but let the local people take the show, and so that the communication can go deep down into the local language. Lastly, Mwamba, I've just been watching the update from our representative in Dubai. I think at on time ngamakwate ishta utimwaisha video abantu batambi whatever Professor Kanruo na senior council batsanga President Kasonde Mwenda.
That's your platform. Masha itambila pesa. I can quickly download it and play it.
I was watching on Kasonde Mwenda's platform.
Okay, let me go there. We'll play it.
Now, just finishing updating the nation on the development in regards on the ballot papers. Okay, I thank you, Amamba.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador Nwamunkonge.
Good evening.
Iwa ambassador na chikwata ko ndefo kuipisha ko pali journalist wesu na pama ballot papers ndefo kuipisha ko pamona na ballot papers twalituma mali representatives aba kuma opposition parties wishe inchito bako ngakulya yako ya mwana fyama ballot papers ofu bale ya printanga yali wino na ngubafuire ba making okwebati na transport yakaena ifuire yaba wino yafuire yaba safe because naamona apapale mfika fya abantu wa ECZ na baraba kala campaign bushe bara campaign aka kulero bapangire alya ama derailment ako batwalingiri okuyoko ni shin the back door barera ndana ma opposition na representatives because ngacha kwa bati bayirefe kule mukuno gogo bare printa ma ballot papers ifo fwe na Zambia ifo fwe bafunye funderi akwe bati kuyo kwa mwana file fintoko file pangwa fya pangwa wino na namba yaba wino no kumono fo fya rainda no kuisa isakali kuno kuzambia oko tuli ushe participation ya transport abare bibimba mu matra mu elections bena ma opposition parties na babambya ma observer ba monitor bashani bena tabali nsa juku shiba ushe transport nshira kusekesha wonse babiri na ngoko bati arama ballot papers yeme okufuna ku Dubai tapaba pa kusaina pa ko bati wonse barabari kuli abasuminisho ko bati iwe yara inderamo yali wino bushe bambinga bakano kusaina ila kampani nayo kwatamaka ya kutumari ama ballot papers ero then kuno kuina ko fi process ya kuno kuzambia nga Afrika abashere kuno bushe na babeto ko yamona omo yakekala ine ba ambassador kutina abeba bafire babika mu proposal ya kwebati bete abashibo kuchita install ama cameras ama international omukaba yali ama ballot papers ora reisa kuzambia basitemo install ama cameras ya kwata access kuli wonsa bakwete mu rubali because ama ballot papers the business ya kwebati ba UPND na boda ora basa mukushitisha abana bo ba opposition no ya wonse wala participate so wonse bafire baba fair nomba ama rights abantu abashiri fair file sikanga tafiri fair aba EU na bambi abashara nishita bare basitamo wangu involved ora again ira aba mukandira na wonse mara mwiste ko update bali itire ba ECZ ko bati bapange meeting today kushana bekana na bena pa meeting then pali ba journalist wa ambassador inani bishobora kuchita understand busheba ambassador nga wasanga abantu wale plano kuipa batawo kawanya oro wasitare court so nga waba pera ilia recording atumfweni wale fo kumibikira poison kuli uyu nani kane wenu sodari wenu muri tiri amipeka ni shamfweni nefe bachirara nshani so apera batawo kawanya ilia recording no bafire bayikata oro wale fo kubepa ena kumureka oro pali imirani pali journalist vekete usheba complainant abarengera ati bamwikate ni banani because oro pali ili ashushe state witness ni nani pali aba abantu ule imini na ko government ni nani journalist ni batawo kawanya nango bantu balera ndango mashuyi balera ndaria aya ku eba kibebiri abena Zambia ushefo abena Zambia fo bale plano kuibira ama votes ni fo barangiro ko batura bamubike muramukati nendefo kwishwa ba ambassador ba polisi nga sanga bakabwara n'abarefo kwiba bakabwara kube kushati ushefu murefo kwiba waransuminisha mikope na nguni mikopa bantu baranishi bakabwara gushenga bamona ukwebati ureba kopa kibakupanya bantu barefo kwiba barakwipaya.
Thank you very much Wamunkonde.
Munoko bati bari abantu bareiva ama elections oro asenda ida information so bafire bakonka bakwetaka bungwe kakwiba ama elections bafire na Zambia tufire twaima ama lawyers na bashani na totera ambassador na banandi barandeko.
Thank you. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello Ambassador Musenza Bwanji, Mama K calling from Lusaka, within Lusaka.
Mama K, make your contribution.
Ambassador, yes, Ambassador Chameni come back on chama ballot papers because wanakamba ijade bati uzautima ballot papers ya Africa should be Sunday ja bachinja. Then yes, my own deputy is expected my ballot papers ya bwela yesterday Sunday. Then bachinja tia bachinja bazakamba bwino kulibe ba ambassador. Chameni bafuna ochita na ballot ni chani. Ndiko kanikana amene bakamba kuti yakabwela ma ballot papers aka making sure zona muri ma CCTV because ba certify nge ba ambassador. Basatifienge kuti bachite mingalato kuti uyu muntu abwelerepo kuti mwamete avutikira ambassador pa 4 years apatibwelere futi mukuvutika awe mulungu atimbere chifundo tifukame zona mulungu tipemphere kuti mulungu aonese bonse pamene funko uchitika because there is no way bakamba bwino bacha abantu banaenda kuja opposition kwendo chitandani kuonelera ma ballot papers kuja banabwera then beve kuja ma ballot papers wachinje futi story atia ya zabwera bwino tizakamba time ya zabwera and oloni wa ECZ bamina abafuna chama ingalato. Zambia is a Christian nation. Stifuna confusion iliyonse Stifuna confusion iliyonse lekani mulungu asogolere dem 8 na makebi zuru bakabwere bakatitandizire kuti tabantu tikankale bwino muziko because stinkala bwino vamene vichitika ni vambiri then uyu muntu behavior amene ali nayo kumbweza pofuti ambassador mulungu atione sinambekepo na bwino sinachimvere bwino pamene naverenga chabenezo tamba TV mandi sinamvere mushe wa ambassador apa peve mazambians tienti seguke menso tisapase chance kuti tingale kuti yai kaiba kamba no tisapase chance.
Thank you mama.
Papers ya brain onzi yankaliche bwino ambassador tisapase chance abantu tinzakamba vambiri wa ambassador kungaluvya nyescom.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me just clear this cause and we hear what our brothers are saying in Dubai. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
This is Movita calling from Kafiwe.
My dear brother from Kafiwe, make your contributions quickly.
My concern, Ambassador, is over the behavior of the police. I've always been talking about this behavior of the police, that blocking the road is not a good thing which they are doing. And I'm now even beginning to think that, as they continue to block roads like that, something can happen. You know how people behave when in mob psychology. Either if an overzealous policeman might trigger a certain situation whereby there might be a lot of bloodshed, or the people themselves who have been blocked. One of the people might be overzealous, and then some fights might erupt. So I'm really concerned with that situation. So I'm asking Ambassador, is there a way we can talk to the police so that they stop blocking the roads like that? Because anything can happen when they block roads like that. Anything can happen. You know how people behave when there's a mob psychology. It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. Anything can happen. It's very dangerous to be blocking roads like that. Why do they block roads after a certain time, then they open the roads? What's the purpose? What's the idea behind that? Maybe they are the ones who are even, they have a plan for that. So we have to talk to the police. Why are they blocking the roads?
Thank you very much.
Then you open it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador. Thank you.
That's our team. That's our team. That's in Dubai. Let's hear what they said at this press conference. All I'm seeing is they are enjoying and dancing. But let's hear what they said. Did they say anything else?
Were correctly written. The symbols were correct. So we spent the whole day verifying each and every ballot paper to ensure that when people will be going to the polling stations, everything is correct. And therefore, we thought it was boring for us to be updating you, telling you that the symbols were correct, the ballot papers were correct. But I think now we've come to a time when I know all of you in Zambia are anxious because we've finished the verification, the printing is completed, the serialization is completed, including the packing. I want to inform you that last Friday, we were all at the plant and we witnessed the loading of at least ballot papers for 3 possible planes to transport the ballot papers to Zambia. And at that time, we informed that the first plane would leave on Sunday. And the pellets that were to leave on Sunday, we inspected them, they were all marked in red. We were also accorded an opportunity to see the second plane, and all the pellets were marked in green, and the third plane, all the pallets were marked in blue. So we
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a caller here, and what I'll be doing is I want to cut that video. I think I cut it too early. I have to go back and get to exactly what the gist is. As you've seen, Professor Nkandlu has explained that there are 3 consignments that they approved, and they were supposed to be carried in 3 separate planes. And now we know what has occurred. What has occurred is that there are changes that ECZ issued a statement. No plane is arriving. The plane that was supposed to arrive tomorrow is not arriving at all. And they are saying they may receive the ballots maybe by Saturday. Now, there are all these murky issues. So I'll go back to the video and hear what our representatives are saying. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and give us your contribution.
Thank you very much, and good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Ambassador.
Good evening.
Ballot boxes is a very disturbing Mingalato story again. Why we change goalposts is because we always want to play some underhand methods, and every Zambian who has listened to what is happening right now must be thinking exactly the same thing that, I am thinking. So I think that all there is to do for all of us is to make sure that we guard our vote, and we also try and find out exactly where it is that, these other ballot boxes that we've heard have come into the country. I'm sure somebody knows. So that we make sure that even those places are being monitored so that nothing gets out. I think, what they are trying to do is to change dates so that, they change even the places that they are planning to come and put the ballot boxes. I think as Zambians, we should not be played. I think every Zambian should, take it upon themselves to look out and make sure that they give information to where it's supposed to go so that we, keep vigil until time to vote. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is I haven't heard, maybe at the end of the, the briefing by Professor Nkandulo, she'll be talking about the weight. We have been told about, the 100, was it 100 tons? Where has anybody witnessed the weighing? This is very crucial. Because that is where they're going to put in weights, where boxes are not, weighing the same thing, and then we'll find that we've got, 120 tons. This is where all the other ballot boxes will be hidden in boxes. I think they should be told that as they are loading, they should insist that the ballot boxes, somebody should keep watch and make sure that the weights are tying up with what they have been told.
Yeah.
So that's very very important. And then the other thing, about the right now, I see very little voter education going on. I think that the opposition should know that it's not all about the numbers that we see. Yes, we will see those numbers, and those numbers have told us something. There's a signal showing where we are going as a people. But voter education is very, very important so that we do not have spoiled ballot papers, because that takes away from our numbers. So those that are, able, even on, on our social media, those that can educate, to do videos to show people how they are going to vote, is very important. This is what should flood our social media right now, to teach everyone how they are going to vote. Thank you.
Thank you, dear caller. I'm trying to play the video of the team in Dubai so that we understand the concerns that we have and their response. Remember, we've been assured from Friday that the ballot papers should have been in the country on Monday, and yesterday there was a change. This was the change.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia would like to reiterate that, as earlier advised, the first consignment of ballot papers should have arrived in Lusaka today, Sunday, 26th June 2026. However, there has been a revision to the charter flight schedule by the air operator. Therefore, the two consignments, which should have arrived on Sunday and Monday, will both be delivered on a single flight, capable of carrying 100 tons, as I had mentioned a little earlier. I would like to reiterate that originally the flights that should have carried the two consignments were capable of carrying 40 tons per flight. So the flight which was scheduled for Sunday and the flight scheduled for Monday will both be put on the same flight, and a portion of the third flight will also be included on this single flight. This single flight, which is carrying 100 tons, will depart Dubai on Monday at 23 hours Dubai time, which is 21 hours Zambian time. It will arrive in Lusaka in the morning of Tuesday, 28th July at 05 hours Zambian time.
We are supposed to send the first delivery on Sunday, but due to some technical issue with the aircraft, now we have rescheduled the timing and we have communicated to the commissions. So now we have decided to send the bigger plane, which will carry the pallets of the first flight, second flight, and few pallets of the third shipment. So that's what we have.
Family, you can imagine after that strong assurance, this was a second assurance. Again, the ballots are not arriving on Tuesday. There are drastic changes that are being done, and we are told that the ballots may be in by Saturday. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and make your contribution.
Hi, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Queen Pumi.
My dear sister, Queen Pumi, make your contribution.
Thank you. I just have a few points here. The first one is on the Zambia police. I think they're operating under difficult circumstances, but personally, I think we can thank them for not using any brutality. Today we saw our presidents, President Mundubile and President Makebi, just abandon their vehicles and walk. And for me, I'd just like to thank the police for not using any form of violence. And this actually speaks volumes that, you know, they are just being forced to do what they are not supposed to be doing. So they are peaceful. At least they are there to protect us. So thank you, Zambia Police. We hope not to stay in this sensitive time when you are going to use any kind of force, live ammunition, or anything to stop the peaceful process for people to choose the leader they want. And then I think we have seen a video. I think it's Professor Kasonso. I'm going to mention it because it's gone viral, where he actually addressed President Brian Mundubile and President Makibi by their first name and told them that it's cowardice, they should react. And I think this is really unfortunate for Professor Kasonso to say such words because we know that this is what the President Hakainde wants. He wants a reaction so that police can be sent on the people, and then we can have the election postponed due to a state of emergency. So I think all well-meaning Zambians should preach the message of peace. President Mundubile has been preaching peace, and we should tell all our youths who are majority of the voters to stay away. Let them march and support our presidents with peace, no violence, because we have waited almost 5 years. So it doesn't make sense for us to start fighting these people when the election is almost 2 weeks away. So
I agree with you on that very point.
Yeah.
The Mundubile and Makebi Zulu have shown great leadership and a lot of restraint, even in the face of provocation. We know the plot of the police. You know, they will use tear gas. People will die. People will be injured. Is that what we want? We, as the opposition, we have a duty to ensure that on our part, we deliver, a peaceful election. On our part, let the violence come from President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND and his policemen. If we can contain, in our space that we, like they are doing in a peaceful manner, they are blocked. Instead of engaging youths with the police, they abandon the vehicles and they walk. That is one way of exercising peace. You should study. I think any politician must know Martin Luther King and his peaceful methods. They are more effective. Gandhi's methods, they are more effective than violence with violence, pangas with pangas. No. So I agree with you there, Queen Pumi. That's a very powerful point.
Yes, thank you. So, and I just want to tell the youths and all the people out there in the streets, if at all a time comes when they are provoked, let them sit down and put their hands up. If police come to get a reaction, people should not run. Let them shoot them in their face. Actually, they say you can't shoot a person in the back. So I think the peace is the way we want. We have been peaceful all these 5 years. So we are down to the wire. And then the other reminder as well is everybody download VPN. I posted on my page and there were some questions. And of course, praise singers were like, oh, Zicta will block VPN. I think education is key. VPN is an internet which is provided on servers outside. You can pick a country. So, and I don't think Zambia provides a VPN service, but there are many countries in the world where they have servers, which are, I think, the internet servers, they're in I think on the space station, somewhere out there in the cloud. So Zicta has no access to block a VPN connection. So let us stay informed and keep current with what we need to do. And then on the campaigns of the president, again, I had a message where he was saying he's going to build a freeway from,
Kafue to Livingstone.
I was like, oh my God, I think we need to have a federal state so that these people can be in their own country. You know? How can he say he's going to build a freeway only in one part of a region, and you want to be a president for 72 tribes and 10 provinces? It is shameful.
In fact, the busiest roads have been shown to be the Lusaka Chirundu Road and the Kapiri Nakonde Road. These are the two busiest with the biggest traffic in the country. So I think you are right there that his request should be driven by data, by trade data, not by ethnic affiliation.
And inclusivity.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be re-elected, why would you focus a message to do the things like ule sala ulabana walikuwa tama step children panganda elo le abana bolela yefisuma elo bambi, you are ignoring them. I think this politics of discrimination, we are tired. No bantu ba southern province ya Mubuga. Then also he is also practicing bullying, this bullying of laughing about somebody's deformity. It is actually criminal that as a President Hakainde can laugh about somebody who did not choose how he was born. It's like, oh my God. And then you people, you are cheering to have such a president who is bullying somebody born with a deformity. With Zambians, we don't need such kind of a presidency. We don't. And then lastly, I want to speak with you, Chief Nkana. It is so sad, Mwandi, because me here in California, California was formerly, I think it was a Mexican state. Indigenous, I think we're Red Indians. Those people, government, the United States, when they came, they pushed the takeover, Kunokchalo. Bali pela like mining rights for casino. You don't say about my indigenous Americans. Those people, they don't even work. Monthly, they can establish casinos, and the casino is a license to print money. So then I heard you, you've said about chiefs in South Africa and other regions where they are the owners of the land, but they are benefiting. But in Zambia, Takuli, Chief in Kana Emeralds, you look at even the largest copper mine, Mungomba, is within the same region. And there's just dust and nothing. So I'm just appealing to President Mundubile when he comes to give at least even a percentage. 10% of whatever these miners produce annually. That's a lot. They can build roads, hospitals, and all the things. Otherwise, thank you, Bamwamba, and we continue fighting until the last day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's listen to our team in Dubai. Let's just listen briefly. There are so many calls. I'll take all your calls, but let's listen to what our colleagues in Dubai are saying.
So indeed, the printer has to provide answers to. We are here to do that on behalf of the Zambians. We understand fully the onerous responsibility that lies on our shoulders to make sure that we participate in making this election free, fair, credible, and transparent. And that's why we are here. Just to put a little more detail to what Professor has said, without belaboring the point, the challenges that we faced in the last 2 days were on how we are going to get this material into the country. We had been assured previously that there were going to be, I think, 6 charter planes that were going to carry the material between yesterday and Friday. As it transpired, because now we had been told and we had been given some detail, which we had even shared with Secretariat, because Zambians must be made aware that the work we are doing here, we are carrying it out in collaboration with our colleagues at Secretariat at the Secretariat in Lusaka. So everything that we are doing here, our colleagues are made aware, and the leadership of the Tonse Alliance is made aware of what we're doing. So we had been assured that these logistics had been put in place, and the first flight was left today. With that assurance, we had started preparing ourselves to now travel to Zambia. Our scheduled flight was for tomorrow. But when these developments that we learned in the last 24 hours were made available to us, we decided to do what a responsible leadership can do. We have rescheduled to the flight. We have resolved that we're going to remain in Dubai at least until the last package of the consignment is put on the plane and airlifted. Our colleagues in Lusaka are also waiting to make sure that at the time when this material arrives in Lusaka, they will be on hand to receive these cargo planes. And we're expectant that ECZ is going to accord them the opportunity to inspect the consignment when it arrives, to verify that what we had packaged here is what will have arrived in Zambia. What is also good is that we might ourselves arrive way before the final batch of the consignments actually arrives in Zambia. So our surveillance continues to be in process. Our surveillance continues to be undertaken both here and on the Zambian side. I just want to reassure all of you who are writing to us.
Thank you very much. I think the gist of the matter is that a team has suspended their trip to Lusaka in light of the development that has emerged, and that they'll continue to monitor, and they're collaborating with the team in Lusaka. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and give us your contribution.
Thank you very much, my brother. My name is General Mark Muntumususu.
Muntumususu, make your contribution.
Please, number one is that I want to thank you, my brother, for the excellent work you are doing. Have you seen how God works?
Thank you, my brother.
Now, my brother, you have contributed actually even big time than you would have contributed if you are in the country.
Thank you, my brother.
Less animal taller. God knows how he handles issues. What is there is that there's a lot of panic. That's why you're hearing jumping up and down. Wrong people, all of them at ECZ, who are completely blank of what they're supposed to be doing. You fire people who are experienced, you bring in people who know nothing, and you start giving instructions from State House. To them, ballot paper, no, not Zakulezani. Hapa niwezi udara, my brother. This one will be more than a landslide. It will be more than the 1991 revolt. Because this Ainde of yours, people have rejected him. He's coming in and he's going out, and he knows. And the people are praying day and night. Nambela kuti na mpando amene uyo. Ati wana ukrashing mpando, my brother. Ukrashing mpando beyond it. Where have you are a diplomat. You have been all over in the country. You, my brother, have been all over. Where have you seen a president who is moving around everywhere with his chair? Tell me, where have you seen it?
You utilize the chairs you find in the areas you go to.
A head of state moving around in a chair yake mundu. That was a tragic mistake. This man was a big accident of this country, but it's important. I'm happy that it happened. He's a president. So that everyone, including people of Southern Province, can see how incompetent this man is. And why he's insisting. Look now the way they are doing now. Enda kuli konse. Motorcade busy. Now accident. Even the people in the motorcade are dying. Because why is this panicking like this if he has worked? Botswana said, if you see somebody explaining too much in the second term, just know that person is a failure. This man has not even built a single toilet. They are not built. This man. The only thing he has succeeded doing is in killing PF. How is killing PF? How does that benefit a person who misses compound? A widow and orphan misses compound. That's the only thing he has succeeded. He can write the paper. That's the only thing he can sort up. Your free education, never come. My brother Emmanuel Mwamba. Hey, ni masampo ya wanakuja wana na mabizi. Children are even boycotting it. Sample bills every day, sample bills every day. The health system is collapsed. And now they are looting at a supersonic speed because they know that they are going. Look at Max Moore. Max Moore. These are the people I've dealt with. You know that. Everybody. Max Moore was also just like in Swadiso. They were very thin, like a mosquito. If you find them today, they are very fat and round because of getting the meal that is meant for the poor people. We said, if you have failed to reduce minimum for 50 kwacha, at least ZNS is in your hands. Why can't you reduce ZNS minimum? There it is now. They are busy looting now. The health system is in a crisis. Complete crisis, breakdown. Go by UTH budget, even just a wheelchair. Patients have to buy their own wheelchairs. So, and the person is insisting that they can be president. We thank God for Brian Mondobele and Makebi Zulu. These people are God sent. The performance these people have put up is very much unprecedented. God is with them. They have worked very well. They have been very mature and restrained because they know that they are dealing with people who don't think. They are keen in shedding blood. Brani Mundubile has been very restrained and been on Mpondo everywhere. I'm following the campaign. Very, very fantastic and powerful organization. These are people who need our support, and we must support them to the hilt.
Thank you, my
man must go. Now, Papa, please keep bringing on this program, okay?
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you.
We are praying for you day and night.
Thank you.
I'm praying for you day and night.
Thank you.
Please, thank you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Ngakutumwashi miyokomule umfuila. Mkwai.
Inewo munshulumbulwa.
Ba munshulumbulwa landenipo.
Mkwai. Ubu depo kwisi mwambobu. Wena ifyo urechita visungusho. Apa kulinomba ilineli ashiri ama ballot boxes bali circulate ama ballot papers bali circulate ku Dubai. The true reasons why better, it's not making any sense at all. But mwamona circulate ma ballot papers in time. But you can ask abantu ku Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. Abantu beso. On Saturday, the UPND government brought in 50 tons of tear gas for the police in readiness for these elections. They can manage to bring in 50 tons of tear gas, Pandeke, but they are failing to bring in ballot papers that are going to determine the future of this country. Are they ready to hand over power if they lost? Because our priorities tabakweti ukuyana veshwati valeya, but they've put up the priority of bringing in 50 tons of tear gas. You can investigate Bamwamba. You can ask abantu wa Airport. They are able to verify this 50 tons of tear gas came in on Saturday. They are ready to tear gas people, citizens, but they are not ready to bring in ballot papers that are going to determine the future of the country for years to come. So our Mkukulu Aba, they don't mean any good for this country. We just have to vote them out, and we have to make sure that we protect our votes. Voter protection yena, it's a must. Banga ndanga mwikalapo tena mwikalapo banga. Beta nga mwaya mkuvota, bambi bashala kunganda, baipike fyakulya, baletera kubala bali palayi. But when you vote, you go and rest a bit, you still come back. Because what they are going to bring in is just confusion now. Because they know that they are going. So looking at this, how do you bring in, you manage to bring in 50 tons of tear gas. But balefirwa, ukuleta ama ballot papers. It explains a lot, Amanda.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. There are so many people waiting. The issue of ballot papers is very, very hot. Ado caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening, dear brother.
Good evening. Yes, this is David from Mwambu, from Mongo.
Yes, my dear brother from Mongo. Make your contribution.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry for disturbing your program earlier because I was very excited with Samakai.
Thank you very much.
Seeing Muchima being Muchima has no backbone. Seeing him becoming a teddy bear in Mazabuka, that made me a very sad person. So Samakai has lifted our, northwestern, western, and southern province have been called the Zambezi region. So me seeing great heroes from northwestern province, trying to prove a point to say, look, we are not a region. We do not belong to Zambezi region. We are Zambians. That to me was very important. That's why I had to tell you this is breaking news because so my first time seeing it. We're having a problem with network in Western Province only. So my network has been very slow. But
thank you so much.
According to what has been discussed, I want to mention so many names because there's so much cyber crime and we don't want to be arrested before we vote. Look at it this way. There's been so many promises before 2021 which haven't been fulfilled. And someone is going around all over the country promising new roads, new this, new that. For the past 4 years, Mr. Musokotwani has been rescheduling our debt. Where is the money going to come from 2026 to 2031 that the whole country will be on a construction site? According to their promises, meaning the whole country will just shut down. Everyone will be on a site because it's promising these 10 universities, 10 international airports, this and that, 3 free highways. Come on, let's be open to each other in Zambia. There's no such a thing. It will never happen. If things could happen in the past 4 years, not even a tiny hospital has been built. Why should we believe that in the next 5 years, someone will turn Zambia into a construction site? Where will the money come from? According to them, if we follow what they've been doing in the past 4 years, the past 5 years, they've been saying the money hasn't been there. So where will the money come from 2026 to 2031? Or turning the country into a highway, into a construction site. So let's not believe into these fake promises, which we all know that these are just illusional. So thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador Mwamba.
Thank you, my dear brother, and thank you for being alert. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make...
My name is Alevison Mwanza. I'm calling from Lusaka.
Mr. Mwanza, make your contribution.
Yes.
Switch off your other device. Just listen to me and make your contribution. Switch off the other device. There will be delay from the other device. Just listen to me and make your contributions.
My biggest problem is the delay to bring the my biggest problem is the delay to bring in the ballot papers.
My brother, I have so many people queuing up to speak. Please speak, just speak. You are live.
Yes. What I'm saying is that the delay to bring in the ballot boxes will mean that the distribution of the ballots to the polling stations will delay also. I think that is the mingla they want to use.
Oh, sorry, our call. I don't know. He must have delay because he kept on waiting and waiting. When you come online, you are online. Just speak. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution. Hello, caller.
Hello, Ambassador.
Yes, caller. Please make your contribution.
Okay, thank you. So my contribution is on voter protection. I think it's the most important thing that we need to do. And my worry also, Ambassador, I don't know if at all you can communicate with the president and the people who are on the campaign trail. Looks like everyone wants to be on the presidential campaign trail, and yet they're abandoning maybe the provinces or the constituencies where they're coming from. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on the ground. And also in the remotest areas, what have we done as a party? Do we have representatives in the rural areas, the remotest, where they did manage to reach as they were doing their campaigns? What sort of program have they put in place? What are the people doing? Or have they sent people to monitor and protect? Those votes are needed and they need to be protected from the rural areas. And also the people on the stage, like when they're doing the campaigns, it looks like there are a lot of people on the stage. You might not even know who's the enemy, who's trying to do what. Always the stage looks so congested such that there's no much space, and we're worried about the president's security. We don't know if there's much security there, because every time you're watching, the stage is packed, the stage is full. Why can't they decongest, or maybe just to have a few people on their campaign trail, others maybe to go back to their various provinces, towns, cities, whatever? I think those are my concerns.
Thank you, my dear sister. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and make your contribution.
This is Precious Inonge from Livingston.
My dear sister, make your contribution.
I want to make the contribution on the president and also on the ECZ.
Okay.
I feel like...
Precious, please call back. I don't know if network is tripping. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Endita Mwabombeni.
Shairu muri amashina kwena.
London Poyama.
Bamwamba kuri sintu kwena fibile fonde fokulanda po. Isha number 1 cha ma ballot papers abalela ndati bale chinja ma dates. There is information ilili ashiria ku Tanzania. Ama ballot papers ya ku Tanzania abale printaya bali rufyanyako. So they had to delay kusta transport ali ku Dubai. The information is reaching that they might finish printing today or tomorrow aya ku Tanzania, so that they can fix narade kufuma ku Dubai afikira pamwe baingisha. So we must be very careful muku start verifying ayafika pa airport, because what they want yarali ku Tanzania na ali ku Dubai apa ko wati ndakumanina, so that benda mix. So let's be very careful. Then I am number 2. I am promises vale panga ba HH. For the whole 5 years here Peter, ayama roads tabatara abarandapo tabatalira abatondonganyapo n'okukula baposerya amaano nomba muli debt restructured in 2032 oko balefu okwisa alipira shirenkongole. Now looking at imisebo baleta promise the whole country konsoko baya baleta promise only 5 years. How is he going to implement these projects and where is the money coming from? Meaning that Zambians tufure tuwailuka tuwalolesha tuwamona tuyu muntu uyu wabu fiuyu if muli 5 years yadi firu kwamba mbona ngufe chimo oni liyama toilet kukitu eyo wakuwanisha hapo muli 5 years fionse fita badi free education bayi kungumba pachifuba yambire na bakaunda ba PF novena wali kote free education. Only 200 kwacha people were paying. And this time we can even say no free education because the cost of living is very high as compared to previous government. 200 mama school. People were able to eat, people were able to feed, to do whatever. The economy was okay. So that we look at bakwalesa. I am fake promises that katatuwale nangu kumofyabu fyomuntu alefu afyokya mubawo because it's the last time unashona kuchibatingana abwedera ko injina fyona ola nomba pantu nshaka kwanisho kubwedera pona lini na totera bamwa.
Thank you very much. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Mr. Ambassador Mombeni.
Mtamkwai mayo badishani.
Bwino mkwai au bamwamba I think apa kuchala bafechirilo para bafyokulagira bamwamba. It's so sad, Mr. Ambassador. You know the greatest political paradox of our time is there are more elections than ever before. You know, and what we should acknowledge, Mr. Ambassador, is that the world is becoming less democratic, you know? And if we are no longer living in a democratic world, Mr. Ambassador. You know, this is thought ballots has sunk my mind. And right now I'm even shivering. Yeah. You know, I have heard of so much of ballot box stuffing, you know, which can be the number one rigging Bamwamba. Yeah. You know, and also not forgetting voter suppression. This we have also to look at that. Vote buying of them as well, and violent repression. The Ambassador, you know, you and your team, you know, on behalf of all the Zambians, I beg you to seriously look into this matter. Bamwamba, we cannot afford losing this election because of the rigging. What country shall we be looking forward to in the next 5 years, Bamwamba? We are on knees, Bamwamba. Bamwamba, so saddening that when I saw Bankana, people Kana weeping, I wept with him. When I saw that boy singing for Brian Munduile, sitting in the wheelchair, Bamwamba, I wept, Bamwamba. Please, tuapapata, tuafueniko Bamwamba, tuapapata. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We will begin to close our program. So I'll take the last 5 calls. I think I'll take the last 5 calls. I'll take the last 5 calls. We see what yeah. So airport authorities are informing us that 50 tons of tear gas was finally arrived through Kenneth Kaunda International Airport ahead of the elections. 50 tons of tear gas, arrived through the international airport. We'll track that news, and we'll try to ask the police to verify that. They might hide it, but our people at the airport are telling us that. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution.
Good evening, I'm Anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Mkwaende for kushita contribute $1 million, and pari ba RP and ba Mundubireze political party ama MPs balerwa kuli abachola kuli n'abelampi bachilinda abachola then bamulenga abelampi. These people are supposed to work together, but it's like once bali pa ballot paper nomba nish abantu bakavota shani, because now ama votes yakaba split between the two people. If they don't bring them together and talk to both of them, that one of them has to support the other one. Then the second one, I think voter education hasn't been there. Maybe kuno muno mtauni abantu limbi kuti vaishivesha kuvota na momwine mtauni mulefa kwa voter education even strong, showing people how to vote. Some people don't know how to write, some know how to write. Filefe balanda tinga chakwe bati X ya fula muka box nishi to be a sport nankane vote. So that people should be educated on how to vote. In my rural areas, have they been teaching them how to vote? That is my concern.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We are taking some calls. Let's hear from you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Okay.
Receiving your communication, we are tabulating the concerns you are recording for us, and we are using some of the information we are getting from you to structure the questions that we are putting both to the printer and to the ECZ to make sure
please hold on,
where we think that one or two things are not being put in place in the right way. We just want to encourage the Zambians that we are carrying out this function with the seriousness that it deserves. But we are also cognizant of the fact that even you are following these elections step by step. We have said before, this is not an election like any other ordinary election that we've had in this country. I think this country is going through a motion that requires to ensure that Zambians are confident at every level that they participate in the electoral process. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We're going to make sure that...
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Briefly, my brother, I just want to give like a supplementary comments.
Yes.
The other option is that the other thing is that God is working wonders in this country. Are you seeing how the snakes are being exposed in the opposition? Even in the opposition, snakes are being exposed. So you are seeing exactly what's a a person who was in the forefront, trying to bring peace in Tonse. Here, we are bringing peace, we are bringing peace. 2-3 days is jumping at I'm going in UPND. Because of the money that they are being given, corrupt money. Now we are being told it's from the mines. You get money from the mines to corrupt weak souls, the snakes who were with us in the opposition. God is watching and exposing everyone who will be exposed. Just like the way Hakainde Hichilema has been exposed, even in the faces of his own people. I end up kuja, but Gary Nkombo has been fighting me. Just being seen in a picture of Gary Nkombo with ECL, he has been fighting me for a long time. What about thinking is that? The thinking I'm to the Bwanje. If it's not primitivity, it's primitive, hybrids, primitivity. Look at the way people are being bought. The service also people who are saying this is hybrid power. Today they have joined and everything. We serve a living God. We must turn up in massive numbers, give massive votes so that we don't give any room of rigging. Uko ndani uko McDonald's penzi. Ango fusokoneza vintu daily uko. Awazalomesa uko ango fusokoneza vintu daily. That is how sometimes God works. Failure to work completely, muntu. Failure to work. But he's insisting that he wants to be a president. So what we are saying, I just wanted to say that even in the opposition, God is exposing the snakes. You have seen the snakes that are there. They are just there like in Kemba, Port Gerap, Nama leaders. It's not about the people. It's about the pockets and the tummies of their presidents. So these issues have to be mentioned.
Thank you, my brother.
I'm sorry, but you have seen what is happening. Thank you very much. I wanted to deliver that
people
point.
Confronting me like this, because where I grew up, we fear nothing. When you confront me, you're creating a problem there. I don't want people confronting me like this, because where I grew up, we fear nothing. When you confront me, you're creating a problem there.
Yeah, let's pick as many calls as possible so that the last 5. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador Mwamba.
Yes, my dear brother. Who's calling?
No, it's anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
I'd already spoken earlier on, but since Kalamba Wandi, we are trying to wind up this beautiful program, and this usambilisho mule tupela. Ndefu afyo kuweke shapo, ikiwemba chitila tapa komaila nondo pali ubulema. Echo ndefu kuweke shapo, our leaders, they are entering, it's a very crucial time and the crucial areas of Northwestern, Western, and the Southern province. This country, we are constituted with 73 ethnic tribes. So we have already wind up into either Nyanja or other Bemba and other tribes. We are entering into our brothers' territory. You have got contact with these people and trying to educate them to allow the campaign when it goes to Northwestern. Let the locals learn their campaign themselves. Let them feel that it's very stachabo. We don't want people to be dominant into other languages from other provinces. We know the languages, we know our brothers, our sisters from Northwestern. So please, Wamwamba, it's very important. All of us, we have been to Northwestern. It's not about they are very sensitive. No. We just want to feel these things. It belongs to 73 ethnic tribes. It is one Zambia, one nation. Other people have helped the president from these other 6 provinces or 7 provinces. Please, we have got a duty to allow them to go back to other provinces, to go to Lusaka, Central, Copperbelt, Eastern, Muchinga, Northern Wapula. Let other people from these other provinces show. These things we are trying to liberate the Zambian people. It's our second independent, and let them show their credibility and their importance of belonging to our incoming president, Brian Mundubile and Makebi Sulu. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Mlenga from England.
Patrick, make your contribution.
Sure, Ambassador, mine is just to, I don't know, I just started listening to the program. I don't know if people have talked about the number of the people on the entourage of the president. I feel people should revert and go back to their respective places where they have comparative advantages in terms of language and dominance. For example, I'll talk about people that I know. For example, Honorable Munia Zulu. Munia Zulu, his seat was just grabbed from him in his constituency. Therefore, he might have a lot of influence still in his constituency. Time is not with us. We need these people to go back in their places so that they can start announcing. People are talking about vote buying. People are talking about issues to do with the vote protection, as well as the how to mark in those ballots, on the ballot paper. So all those things have to be sensitized with these people. They can go back to their respective places and start sensitizing people using those PA announcers, like going around the places so that people can truly know what is happening. And then on the aspect of the issue to do with ballot papers and the issue at the airport, I think we need to have people that will be stationed at the airport to monitor most of the activities that are happening. So these guys, they're not leaving anything to chance where rigging is concerned. So they are going to do anything that will advantage their person. They know that he's going, and they have to help him to remain into power. That's why we have seen even those MPs that are supposed to be campaigning in other provinces, they are back and they have come to in Lusaka to ensure that all these clandestine activities go smooth in their favor. So mine is just to make a cry and call to our people, be vigilant at all points so that we can protect the vote and so that we usher into a government that will be responsible. Thank you, Olam.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
But David here again. Sorry.
Oh, David from Mongu. Yes, yes.
There's something very important, Ambassador. I think this you need to actually do a full program on it before the elections. What role is Tony Blair playing in this Zambian election? Because Tony Blair, I know he's British, he's out of the EU, but the EU should also explain to the Zambians what role is a former Prime Minister of the UK playing in this election. Tony Blair. What role is he playing in this coming election? We want to know. Is he on the ballot? Is he the invisible man at State House? Because we know that he's got an office at State House. What role is he playing in our whole system? Who is he? He's not an elected official, but what is he doing in the state affairs of our country? A former Prime Minister of the UK, what role is he playing in this coming election? These, I think, are very important questions. We need answers. Thank you
very much. Yes, there's a document that, there's an expose that was released in London by an international NGO called Global Witness. Global Witness has made an allegation, very strong allegation, and that First Quantum supports President Hakainde Hichilema in the last 10 years. They bankroll his political activities, and that First Quantum has benefited up to almost three quarters of $1 billion, which is $770 million in tax rebates because of the policies that were changed. And First Quantum and Tony Blair Brentes Foundation, remember, you have the presidential delivery unit set up by Tony Blair, and it's at State House. This is what you're talking about, that you have a foreigner right in the heart of State House, and what is his influence. That will require our own time and to discuss this entire pros and cons and just review what is happening. I'll be holding a segment beginning tomorrow, what the papers say. This is a promo. Thank you very much. I'll be hosting What the Paper Say. For you who are followers of my page, you know that every morning I post newspapers of the day. So I will be, instead of just posting dry newspapers, I'll be coming in, show you the paper of the day, and provide an analysis of that story from my knowledge. This is a special segment ahead of the elections. This is just to ensure that all of us are on time. So it will be taking place between 7 hours and 8 hours, competitive time in Zambia, but you have to listen to quality analysis of what the day's events is and what the day's newspapers are saying. So a new segment beginning tomorrow, What the Papers Say, will begin on this program. I'll be live every morning, Zambian time, between 7 hours and 8 hours. So we'll look forward to that. It gives you an insight of what the day is. Yes, there was a story that broke that this man, Gilbert Liswaniso, who's corrupt, who I have reported to the Anti-Corruption Commission, owns this property. Well, I just came here, this is Emmanuel Mwamba verified, and our PS in Western Province have some knowledge about this project. It has nothing to do with Gilbert Liswaniso, this project.
Welcome to the Anantara Tented Kafui camp. It gives me great pride after 3 years to see this hotel where it is today. And I thank every one of us and everyone for their continued support. And I think this is the start of a future and a relationship with African Parks, Minor Hotels, and our brand of luxury Anantara on the first safari tented camp.
It has been a dream to enter the ultra-luxury safari market. I don't want to say safari because I think this product is more than just a safari. I just want to say thank you to Sashi for making it a reality.
Because the brand has evolved. We've gone from being luxury resorts globally to doing planes, trains, boats, retreats, and this now represents our first venture into tented camp.
By choosing to invest here, you have created opportunities for economic growth, employment, skills development.
So that's Anantara Tented Camp. Anantara, hold luxury outfits across the world, and they've partnered with a Zambian national and they're calling it an Antara tented camp. But if you look at an Antara, they've luxury outfit hotels, boats, and stuff like that across the world. It's like you build Crest Hotel. I mean, you build a hotel on Great East Road, and you invite Crest Hotel to come and manage it. So it was called Crest Hotel, yet it was owned by a Zambian. This is a similar. This is an Antara tented camp. It accommodates 9 pool villas, and terrace suites, and it's sustained by entirely solar. It features the Luzuva Harvestry Restaurant, Tualumba Bar and Lounge, and floating gym and customized river safaris. I just wanted to put it that Gilbert Liswaniso must be investigated, but he doesn't own this property. It's owned by another businessman. Thank you very much. Let's promise some calls. And someone says, but your last word should be about vote protection and vote. That's what we do on this program. We want the vote protected. At podcast here, Ilek Private School, someone has made me laugh. That podcast here, Ilek Private School. Thank you that you're appreciating the quality of our podcast. We'll be back tomorrow. We are on this. Tomorrow, remember, we are launching What the Paper Says. So I'll be live on this program between 7 hours and 8 hours. And if you have any contribution to make, you can make that. But we'll be reviewing the newspapers of the day, and I'll be providing insights to the stories that the newspapers will have carried out. It's something I've run for over 5 years. What I do is I carry newspapers of the day and put them on my page. It's one of the issues that has been bringing traffic to my page. I have an average of about 40 million people that come to my page every month. But partly due that segment of newspapers every morning do play a key role. So in this last mile, as we review the electoral process and where this country is going, I thought that instead of just posting dry newspapers or what other media organizations are saying, I'm going to appear, post a story, and provide a physical live analysis to whatever story that is. This will be a special program just to run between now and the election, so that all of us, because the changes are so many, already are here, we know that the state is plotting and planning to attempt to arrest our entire team that is managing the secretariat and that is managing the vote protection program. We know what they want to do. They want to cripple our team. So developing things like that don't have to wait until the following night, So we are closing. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Yeah, my name is Mary Banda. I'm calling from Kapiri.
Mary Banda from Kapiri. Did you attend the rally by Brian Mundubile?
No, I didn't. I was in Ndola, then we were just passing each other.
Okay. Make your contribution, my dear sister.
Yes, I've got few things to contribute.
Yes.
The first thing is the comment which Dr. Is it Kavimbi? Something like that. Mr. Kavimbi, I don't know if it's Kavimbi or whatever, I can't remember his name. He was telling that Zambians are not educated. Okay, it can be true, it can be not true. But according to what President Mundubile is saying vote on the lamp or tag. Those signs, I'm sure, on the ballot paper will be there. So this is where our party should be emphasizing to tell people that you should on this and that, not other places. Then too, Zambian people, we shouldn't forget what we've gone through the past 4 years. And then what we are going to go through in future. Because this man, he doesn't listen to people. Dr. H.H., Mr. H.H., he doesn't listen to people. He doesn't want to be consulted in anything. He doesn't hear the poor people crying. All what he wants is his own ideas. If we vote him through, we are not going to have democracy. That's what we should bear in our minds. And if we are going to vote him through, he's going to dictate us like in Rwanda or in Uganda. This is going to be the truth, and Zambians will regret. Even those who are saying that HH up to 2090, 20 whatever, they are going to be frustrated. Look at what they've done to Gary Nkombo, yes. If he was a friend from childhood and they like each other, this is not the right way of doing things. Look at Bill 7, how he treated us. We don't have even our rights to say. This is what we Zambians we should look at. Not to look at his promises fake. Yes, that is more. That's why it's called Miss Bashi promise. You know, this is what we should focus. If we fail to vote for Makebi and the friend, we can vote any Shonkono, not him, because he has no heart at all. He doesn't listen to people. His attitude. If he's a person who can rule the country to develop, he should listen to the poor and he should listen to the people he is with. This is what I wanted to contribute. Please,
thank you very much, my dear sister. Yeah, vote wisely, and she has advised that you vote on the opposition and on the lamp. So I was saying that wake up with me 7 hours to 8 hours for those that are preparing for it. Just put the phone on and you'll be listening to the analysis of what the papers say. Of course, we'll be competing with radio stations that do their breakfast shows. But I think that in the next 14 days, this is very important. God bless you and shalom, shalom.